Hello, this is wmpyr. Okay, so I got a comment, and basically I was told that the volume is low. And I have received this comment before. I don't know if it was with this camera or not, but ever since I've been, for the longest far back that I can remember, I've been having all my recordings full volume. So I'm not sure what I can do. Please consider this like a last experiment type thing. And then when I am doing the instructional tutorial type stuff, I have to be further away. So this is definitely a problem. Please let me know if the volume is low on this video, or in the past videos and stuff. Please feel free to let me know so that I can try to figure out something. I don't know what I'll do. I might have to just switch to a different camera, but hopefully not, because this one is the one that I like using, but I just might have to. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to is I just came back from yard work, and I like to use the karambit for yard work. It just works really nice, and that's the one that I tend to take with me when I do that. And whatchamacallit, I am not a karambit specialist. It's something that I've come to know just because around 2004, 2005, I'm thinking around that time, I was like, okay, I've been focusing so much on mixed martial arts, which is, fighting against people from other styles hand to hand. And I was like, it's time that I go back to my roots and I really, really focus on Filipino martial arts, and this time especially bladed weapons. I really want to do that. I've been training Filipino martial arts that whole time, but it was on the back burner. I have to be honest, And I was like, I miss it and I want to go back to it. And when I did, and part of the reason was because I witnessed some crimes and stuff, and I was doing security work. So I was like, Filipino martial arts is perfect for this kind of thing. And so that was the first time I pretty much heard of the karambit. And I had never really seen it or known about it before because it's not a Filipino weapon. Karambit is an Indonesian weapon. And yes, they're both in Southeast Asia, but they're different countries, totally different histories and whatnot. And so Indonesian silat. Silat is a style that, really it's their flagship weapon. For the Filipinos, it should have been the balisong, in my opinion, the butterfly knife. But I think because it became banned worldwide, seems like, the Filipinos lost their knife. And then, they had to go to the stick or the bolo. So I think it's kind of a darn shame that Filipinos lost their knife, but to me, it's the balisong. But anyway, because the karambit was so popular, and I heard that a lot of martial artists prefer the karambit, I was like, I need to know this knife. I should get to know it, and so I did. I over the years since 2004, 2005, I purchased a karambit. I practiced with it, and ever since, and I've come to really like it. I'm not like karambit's the best knife ever. I don't feel that way, but I do like it. I do enjoy it, just like I do other knives. Okay. Okay. So then I was like, can I throw the knife? Can I throw the karambit? And I just tried it this morning. And yeah, sure enough, you can. It is awkward, but with practice, just like anything, with practice, you can. And I can tell you here from experience, you could totally throw the karambit, all right? It can stick very well. And why am I talking about this? Well, recently I've been working with Sensei Rick, as you guys may have seen some of the videos we've done. So every Sunday we've been doing a video together late at night. Around late at night is when it uploads for you guys. But so we've been doing making a video together. I'm trying to help him launch his YouTube channel, and he's uploading more and more content. So his channel is getting bigger and bigger. He'll be adding more stuff. And one of the things that he discovered, and he's been a lifelong or a long time knife thrower, right? And he was throwing the knife from long distances, and he holds it from the point. And he's been throwing, and he's from my understanding, he's gotten really, really good at it. And I think I remember even far back like the second time when I had met him, he was doing stuff like that. He was really, really into that. But anyway, he recently saw a video on YouTube where a guy was throwing the knife for self-defense purposes. And he was like, that is very, very interesting. So he tried it, and it was different. It was throwing the knife from the hammer grip, and he was really, really impressed by it. And then, sure enough, he's mixing it with his Filipino martial arts because he had learned that as well. So he's mixed it with his Filipino martial arts methods, and he's been throwing that, and he's been uploading quick clips of that onto his YouTube channel, so you can check it out. And then, so we were talking about that, and he was like, dude, it's so great. You should try it. And you're throwing it with a hammer grip, and you're throwing it in extreme close range without a spin. And I was like, hey, dude, back when I first learned Filipino martial arts in the early 90s, my instructor told me we throw the stick. And I was like, really? We throw this? We really throw it? But then I thought, you know what? We have 2 sticks. Okay, I guess we could lose one. Why not? If it's going to be a good hit, why not get that advantage? And so I remember him saying that. And after that, many years later, when I was going more into, Filipino martial arts, we're learning techniques, and then we go from stick to knife to empty hand. I was like, it should be improvised weapons. It should be pretty much any one-handed weapon. So when I started focusing on that, using the same principles from Filipino martial arts that I learned, I'm just going in a little deeper. That's what I was developing, is to be able to use anything, not just a stick, a knife, a bolo, and empty hand. I wanted to go more. And so with that, and I'm not saying I'm the only one that does that, who does Filipino martial arts, but it wasn't necessarily taught to me. So when I was going in that direction, I learned that there's 4 types of improvised weapons, 4 types of weapons that you're going to encounter. And that is an impact weapon, a bladed weapon, a flexible weapon, and then a projectile weapon. So a projectile weapon is, that includes firearms, that includes slingshot, that will include stick throwing and knife throwing, or even picking up a rock and throwing that. So, and that's where that fit in, where my instructor had told me in the very beginning, we throw the stick as well. So that fit in perfectly, and I was like, okay, cool, I found a spot for that. And so I started practicing throwing the stick. How do I throw it? And I was thinking, well, do I need to watch some knife throwing videos? How am I supposed to throw this thing? And ultimately, I knew I wanted to get from stick to knife. I understood that, but I was like, I don't know how to throw this, And then I started thinking, in Filipino martial arts, the way we do things is pretty much one technique does everything. That's just the way it is. So like I said to you guys before, we do the Heaven 6, and you could do the Heaven 6 as offense, defense, as a counter, as a block, as a ramming type technique to close the distance. It could be a catching technique. And then it could be striking, it could be slashing, it could be stabbing. So it's very versatile. So then I thought, well, it could also be throwing as well. So there's no need to change my grip and then learn how to add spins. I was like, throw it as is. No spin, same grip, and just like I'm slashing or I'm striking, so using the same technique. And that's the way I've been practicing for many years now. And obviously, for that to hit, it has to be close range. And plus, in Filipino martial arts, my method that I developed from the traditional was long range and close range. Don't really do medium range. So it came down to that. So it was either you're far away or you're very close. So from far away, they have time to dodge. They have time to see me throwing it. So I figure, hey, in close range, they're not going to be able to move out of the way as easily. So that was the idea. And then on top of that, when I had learned from my friend Russian martial arts, I remember we went outside. And when we went outside, we did knife throwing. And the way that he taught us was to throw it to the ground. It was a big training knife. It was made of metal, and because it was big, we were able to stick it to the dirt. It did stick to the ground, but that's how we practiced. We threw to the ground. Of course, you have to watch not hitting your own feet, but we threw it to the ground. So that's how I still practice to this day, is I start from throwing it to the ground and then I move to an actual target, but it's starting with the ground. And I teach that to my students to this day. Okay, so that just makes sense. And if the opponent is, he said, you take the opponent down to the ground and then you throw the knife when they're on the ground. A person on the ground is not as mobile as a person standing up. So that makes it even harder for them to move out of the way. So that just, and it's close range. So, you know, I told that to Sensei Rick, and he was like, you know, we were both on the same page. Like, it makes sense from both of our Filipino martial arts background that we both, you know, I was like, it's cool that we both added knife throwing to our style, and we do it in the same manner. So that was really cool. So, that's what I wanted to talk about for you guys today. And that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.